regarding the preservation of historic shipwrecks vary from country to country, and even from year to year.
This winter, the wreck became a designated site, which means it's now protected by English law under the Protection of Wreck Act. And we are now continuing the investigation of the wreck site this year, and also attempting to remove the attractive commodity down there, which is obviously would otherwise bring in other divers, and that is the very large amount of copper coin.
The Ministry of Transport had decided the Admiral Gardner was within the 3-mile limit of territorial waters. They demanded that a professional archaeologist be present to supervise the dig. Ian Spooner is a firm believer in professional archaeologists working alongside amateurs. It's the only way, he says, to get anything done at all.
Well, of course, we've done a large quantity of coins, as we expected, 10 and 20 cash pieces in barrels. We're hoping to be able to raise a barrel full of coins, an entire barrel, but so far the concretion down there has prevented that. There's a lot of iron in this cargo, steel, bar stock, which is being exported to India, anchors and cannonballs, all in this mound of cargo with the copper, and the steel, or the iron, has created corrosion products and made it a vast rock-hard lump of concretion, which is a great disadvantage. We don't have that soft core we were hoping for.
Because the ship's cargo is welded together so firmly, the team must use explosives to loosen the artifacts.
Stand by. Fire in the hole!
The use of explosives, in this case plaster gelignite, may seem a violent solution. But in a situation like this, and when properly supervised, it's a recognized method of excavation.
If the archaeological guidelines, which I've set down, and which are the normal archaeological guidelines which any other archaeologist would impose on the expedition, are not adhered to, well, certainly if I found that divers were going off to the stern of the ship and looking on their own behalf for personal possessions from the officers' crew's quarters, if they were up there looking for the ship's cash chest, that sort of thing, that would certainly be in direct contravention of the contract which I drew up with the group. And I could have the work on the site stopped overnight just by telephoning the Minister of Transport.
It means that we have to observe certain codes of practice, which I hope we would observe anyway, that you do not recover material willy-nilly, that you make sure that there are ways of preserving it or conserving it as is necessary, having got it up. And whereas before, perhaps with an unprotected wreck, there might be a tendency amongst some of the team to say, well, let's get it all up on deck and look at it, we've got to slow down.
In the event, Ian Spooner had to stop the excavation because some of the contract divers were going too fast and would not accept proper supervision. They were more keen on the money than on the archaeology. Ironically, after the dig had been stopped, the Ministry of Transport de-designated the wreck, so now it's a free-for-all again. Richard Larne and Ian Spooner did manage to find an intact barrel of coins, but selling them proved to be difficult. The enterprise was a disaster for all concerned.